IVM.
All right, welcome to another awesome episode of IVM Likes. How do I know it's awesome? Because I have awesome guests with me. My name is Antariksh and I'm the host for this episode. And joining me on this episode are Tanvi Lad. Tanvi Lad is the host of the Millennial Athlete podcast on the IVM network. Hi, Tanvi. Say hi.
Hi, what's up?
All good. Thank you so much for joining us. Also joining Tanvi and me is Surohini, my co-producer at IVM. Hey, Surohini.
Hey, what's up?
All good, man. Thank you so much. Surohini,
Yes.
Surohini right now is joining us from a car. She is at a relative's place in Delhi, but because she's so dedicated to her job, she wanted a quiet place to come out to record to. She came out to a car, is sitting on her laptop and recording right now, which is
Yeah.
just next level dedication. Thank you so much, Surohini, for that. You're getting a
Kavita,
raise
are
for
you
sure.
listening?
Yeah, exactly.
Kavita listening.
Yeah, Amit and Kavita.
Yeah, you get a raise now, Surohini. Nicely done. Okay, cool. This is also very surprising how stable your internet is, Surohini. This is great because in a car, stable internet is.
Yeah, I'm actually also no. So I can hear a lag actually from your side. So abhi pata nahi.
Oh, really? Okay, wow, man. I was giving your Wi-Fi good compliments and all, and you just crapped all over it. No, it's cool. Thank you so much
So
for
it
joining
must
us.
be your Wi-Fi, no?
That's true, actually. It could be my Wi-Fi. Damn it, I didn't think of that. Yeah, so your Wi-Fi is awesome. It's mine. That's the problem. Okay. For those of you joining us for the first time, this is IVM Likes. Welcome so much. Welcome to an episode of IVM Likes. How a typical episode works is in the first half, we give you guys some awesome recommendations of something we have recently checked out. This can be anything in the pop culture sphere. It can be a YouTube channel, maybe a music video, maybe a piece of a TV show, a movie, anything, a book, maybe anything that we have recently checked out and or are checking out right now. And we would like to recommend to you so that you can check it out as well and enjoy it as well. And so that's coming up in the first half. And in the second half, on this episode, we'll be talking about our favorite directors, female, our favorite directors, women, who are working in the industry or have worked in the industry. So that's coming up in the second half. Let's get started with the first half of the recommendation round. Surohini, you know what's coming. Would you like to start us
Yep.
off, please?
Absolutely. So my recommendation.
Also, before we
Yeah.
start, Tanvi, please don't think I did not start with you on purpose or something. This is just so you get the ropes a little bit because Surohini has done this before. This recommendation round kind of thing.
No, I thought you didn't start with me because my turn for giving recommendations was over. We started this whole conversation. Our listeners, I don't think were tuned in. With me giving
Okay.
you recommendations.
Oh
on
yeah, that's
where to-
true. Okay,
gate.
a little
So-
background for our listeners. I have just before the recording started, literally like 2 minutes before the recording started, it struck me to ask Tanvi, who I have on the podcast, a young millennial as she is, where I should take my date. So I'm going on a date tomorrow or one of these days. I said tomorrow first. I don't know that I tried to like hide it. Going on a date tomorrow, and I was asking Tanvi for recommendations as to where I should go, and she sent some very good places. Gave me some very good places. One of which is called the Kitchen Garden. If you guys are so interested, yeah, up down to you, Surohini. What would you recommend? Where should I go on a romantic date in Mumbai?
I can't recommend any Mumbai places. I don't know.
Okay, in Delhi. Chalo, let's do this. If we are ever in Delhi, where can people go for a cool romantic date?
Oh, that's tough.
Come on, let's do this, man. Surohini,
Okay.
we'll get there.
Uh,
go to
we'll
India
get
Gate
there.
as a state. Go to Qutub Minar.
India Gate. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the first choice.
Go to Red Fort on 26th January. Oh, never again? Sorry, that wasn't me.
Oh, shit. Oh, no,
Okay,
no.
nice.
Yeah.
Cool. Anyway,
so
let's,
that's some
yeah,
place.
bolo.
You can go anywhere, but you have to be, just don't go to metros. Yeah.
Don't go to metros. Why would you go to
Yeah.
metros for a date?
Just everybody travels in metro, no? So
like
to
that.
go
Okay,
somewhere,
traveling.
yeah. Just
Okay,
don't
but I thought that's the
travel in
destination. We'll meet at the metro. We'll have a nice date. वहीं पे दारू पियेंगे, सुट्टा मारेंगे. Good times. Okay, cool. Thank you so much, Surohini, for
Yeah.
obliging us with that
No recommendation.
non-recommendation.
Yeah.
Let's get to your recommendation for IVM
Actual
Likes.
recommendation.
Yes, actual recommendation. Yes.
My recommendation for this week would be a series called High Seas. So it's basically a Spanish series. That is, its name is Alta Mar, which is translated to High Seas in English.
Okay.
And the whole plot of that series is so it's a mystery, and it's like a dramatized mystery. So the whole plot revolves around two sisters who are traveling from Spain to Rio de Janeiro in 1940s.
Okay.
And there
Is
are
there is there a lot of
mysterious
crime
stuff
there?
happening in the ship, in the cruise.
Okay.
Uh, Not really. It is so the series is about mysterious deaths happening on the ship.
Oh, okay.
So
Cool. So it's like a who done it,
yeah,
or
yeah,
is it?
kind of, yes. So
Oh, nice. I love
so
those,
actually
man.
this kind of reminded me of this series kind of reminded me of a film called The Murder on the Orient Express, if
Okay, I
anybody's
get. That's
seen that.
exactly what I was thinking of
Yes.
also. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Nice.
so it is actually, it gives the sense of that film. So yeah, so it
Okay,
has
nice.
3
And
seasons
okay.
now, and I'm not sure if the 4th season is coming out or not, but yeah, that's my recommendation for everyone.
Okay. And where can people
It
check
is
this out?
it is on Netflix. It is streaming on Netflix right now, and it's
And
a
is it
light watch. It's a
is
very
is it
light watch.
is it a recent show or
No, it released in 2019. So
2019? Okay, so it's still ongoing, is what you're saying, right?
It isn't. I'm not sure if the season 4 will come or not. Season
Okay,
3
cool.
is finished, and it's a very small, like it's like what 6-part season, 6
Every
episode season.
Oh wow, that's a short
Yeah,
one.
very
Yeah,
short one.
very
Yeah.
nice. Cool. High
Yeah.
seas. And do we know any of the actors by chance in it?
I don't think so. We know any actors.
Okay, that's
They're
totally
all
fine.
Spanish actors, so I'm not sure.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
yeah, probably not. Cool. Fair enough. High seas. But wait, we got to watch it in subtitles, what? Unless you
No,
understand Spanish.
so no. So there is English. Like you can select English
English audio.
Yeah.
Okay. So nice. So badly dubbed, you can watch it nicely.
Yeah. I mean,
Obviously.
depends.
Man, I watch a lot of Japanese anime, right?
Ah.
So very often I have to watch it dubbed because I don't feel like reading the subtitles. And but if you're watching it in the Japanese dub, no, in the original Japanese dub, very often there are words which don't translate. For instance, the
Correct.
word like television, okay?
Correct.
Say television doesn't have a Japanese translation. So there are some words which like Hindi maybe, like how Hindi and English say the word is the same. So in Japanese the word is the same, but they'll say it in a very accented Japanese exaggerated accent because it's anime. So instead of saying I was watching the television, they'll be like television, always something like television. You know what I mean?
Sounded like Tamil or Malayalam.
That's exactly what it sounds like, dude. I'm not making this up. So yeah. Okay. Anyway, let's get to Tanvi. Surohini recommended High Seas. Tanvi,
Yes.
what do you like to recommend?
I mean, the first thing that comes to mind is, of course, watch Suits. I've been drooling over everyone on the show, whether it's Harvey, Mike Ross, Rachel, everyone. Just
one of them is royalty
so
now.
Absolutely, yeah.
The royal family was drooling on her.
Ex-royalty. Yeah, that's right.
Ex-royalty. Yeah, correct. Yeah.
But on a more serious note, I think I would want to recommend this documentary, or it's a series called Athlete A. Which is basically so especially for female athletes, I think it's a must watch, because Indian sport today is so male dominated. We're always traveling with male physios, male coaches, male managers, male trainers, and it's sometimes very difficult to understand a female athlete psyche, and to always be getting treated by a male. We need to be aware of the fine line that that distinguishes between being treated and being abused. And the film is basically about the USA gymnastics team, and they had a physio called Larry Nassir, I think, who for the longest time, 15 years, 16 years, used to abuse these 14, 15-year-old gymnasts.
This is the Russian thing. The Russian doctor? Was it the Russian something?
Heard about the news when it came out.
Yeah. So literally, these girls get selected at a tender age, and they're sent to these.
Sorry again. This is the Russia thing, right? This is the Russia doctor thing
No,
that
no,
I've heard
no.
of.
This is the USA gymnastics team.
Oh, damn. Okay.
They're all training to qualify for the Olympics.
Okay.
And they're sent to this training facility in Texas, which is quite isolated. So, even the training style was extremely, like they're constantly criticized for body, like their body weight. They may be eating little or nothing and training for hours, but they're constantly, you look, you're as fat as a pig, or there's constant body shaming. So they're mentally in a dump, even though they're trying to qualify for the Olympics. And then they're also, without realizing, being abused by this doctor who, under the pretext of treating them, is actually abusing them. And it's being done so subtly that they don't know what's happening, and there's fear to even report such things. And it's all hand in glove. Even if it's reported, it never, the girl her career just gets sabotaged. So
is this like a very old story which is coming to light now, or is this
pretty much, yeah.
Like what Olympics? Do you know the year?
I think
Olympics?
it's if I remember right, it's Beijing.
Okay, so which makes it 2008 Olympics?
2008.
Okay, wow, that's not that far away. Yeah.
But
that's harrowing,
I think
dude.
it's absolutely. Yeah. I think Indian sport, especially, like all our national camps, we've only had male physios, male coaches traveling with us, and younger girls may not even be aware. They won't even be aware that they're being abused, or they may go into a shell. They get really depressed, or they consider suicide, and athletes go down that path, which is the dirty side, the dark side of sport that's never spoken about. So I think it's a must watch for all female athletes out there.
And I think just people in general should be aware of this story also, right? This is important. Why it should not be repeated, and why we need more women in coaching and training positions also, I think. That's important.
Yeah.
Nice. Also, just on a slightly lighter note, please check out the Millennial Athlete also, Tanvi's podcast. I'm so sorry I did not begin with that. I should have begun with that. And so Millennial Athlete, can you please tell us a few words about the podcast? You host it. You have a co-host there. Can you
yes, I have a co-host, Shlok Ramchandran. We've been teammates since the age of 10 or 11. So pretty much seen him.
Tanvi is a professional. Tanvi and Shlok are both professional badminton players. Yeah.
Yes. So we started the podcast as a hobby during the lockdown, where it just started as a candid athlete to athlete kind of conversation. We spoke to Rohan Bopanna, Saurav Gosal. We covered the whole gamut, all the sports.
Okay, wow.
And it picked up really well. It kept us busy as well. We learned a fair bit of editing and recording, and It was a learning experience. But of course, then IVM happened, and it became super professional. We had a team behind us. So it became quite cool. And now we're really enjoying it. I mean, very often
into a nice groove.
Yeah, we've come into a nice groove. We've grown as hosts from the amateurs that we began as. And I think we really enjoy it, because very often, when a journalist interviews an athlete, it's a very different kind of conversation, whereas we really understand where the athlete is coming from, or we touch upon issues which are very personal to an athlete and his life and his journey. So we've gotten to learn a lot. We get a great insight into how different athletes think, their mindsets, their nutrition, their training. So very inspiring. I mean, every conversation is so inspiring.
Yep, you can check out the Millennial Athlete on any podcasting app, including the IVM website and app. And when does a new episode come out? What day of the week?
Monday.
Every Monday, new episode of Millennial Athlete comes out. Please go check that out.
#Monday motivation.
#Monday motivation. Nice.
Absolutely.
#Monday millennial. I don't know. This is making
Millennial Monday.
Millennial Monday. Of course, much better. Yeah. Cool. Thank you so much for that. That was High Seas, recommended by Tanvi Lad. And
no.
By Surohini.
High Seas by me.
Sorry, Athlete A by Tanvi and High Seas by Surohini. Sorry, I just have them written right next to each other and I got confused. All right, let's get to mine. In 1995, there was a sketch comedy show on TV called Mad TV. And in India, it used to come on a channel called Z English, which is now Z Cafe. But at the time, it used to be called Z English. And the Mad TV was inspired by Mad Magazine. Mad Magazine has been going on for years, since like the 60s. He started in the Harvard National Lampoon as their magazine, and then went on to become a magazine, a very highly reputed magazine of its own, where it became like being on the cover of Mad magazine was like a huge honor. It's like it's like being on the Time magazine cover, like Time Person of the Year kind of thing. Mad TV used to be like a huge honor. Being on Mad magazine used to be a huge honor. Mad TV was a sketch comedy show started from the makers or from the team behind Mad magazine, and it as kind of a competition to SNL, Saturday Night Live. Okay, and Saturday Night Live, of course, has been going on now for like 45 years. At the time in 1995, it had been going on for easily 30 years or something. And so there was no actual competition to SNL, but it was just another small sketch comedy show which came out at the time SNL was still going on, and became quite popular at the time. That's why it was compared to SNL. Now, Mad TV, again, sorry, I'm going into so much history, but this is something I geek out about. This is like my bread and butter. Not really, but I geek out about stuff. And so Mad TV has a series of they have some like great comedic actors were on Mad TV who we know today as great comedians, like Bobby Lee, Brian Callen, Will Sasso, several others. And one of the sketches that they had was a recurring a few sketches that they had was a recurring Arnold Schwarzenegger parody piece. Arnold Schwarzenegger, of course, huge in the 90s, one of the biggest stars of the 90s, like Terminator 2 and Predator and Commando and what have you. So huge stars of the 90s. And Will Sasso, comedian and cast member of Mad TV, played him on these sketches. And they are just hilarious. There's one where, there are like a couple of people have played Arnold Schwarzenegger on Mad TV also. So Will Sasso played him in the later half of Mad TV. And in the first half of Mad TV, Brian Callen played him. And in the Brian Callen sketch, there's one piece where Arnold Schwarzenegger, as the Terminator, goes back in time to save Jesus Christ from being crucified by the Romans. Okay, and it's hilarious, dude, because Christ knows it's his it's his journey. Like part of his journey is to be crucified, because only then can he become the Jesus Christ, right?
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So Terminator's just saving him every time. It's like, no, man, I need to die. It has to happen. It's a hilarious sketch. So go check that one out. Then there's one more where they're like Arnold has done a lot of these like clone movies, not clone like movies where there are like double roles, kind of, like you don't know which one the real Arnold is, kind of. And there's like a sketch which makes fun of that, where everyone is Arnold, and like the confusion is, well, if I'm not me, then who are you? And like they just random dialogue. I'm butchering the explanation, but hilarious sketches. Please go check it out. Just type Mad TV Arnie on YouTube, and you should get some hilarious sketches. So that's a lot of fun. So that brings us to the end of the recommendation round. Surohini, could you please repeat what you recommended?
Absolutely. It's High Seas on Netflix.
Okay. Tanvi, what about you?
Mine was Athlete A on Netflix. And of course, Suits if you're bored and want to have a good time.
Nice. And mine was Mad TV. You can watch all of Mad TV, but in particular, I would recommend the Arnold Schwarzenegger sketches, which can be watched on YouTube. Thank you so much, guys. Bring us to the end of the first half. See you guys on the other side.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another great week on the IVM Podcast Network. If you aren't following us on social media, please do. We're IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Would like to thank the sponsors on the network this week, CED. We really do appreciate your support. We have a new show on the network. It's called The Fighting Goat. And if you love fighting sports, tune in every Wednesday with hosts Arjun and Somesh. They also featured, by the way, on Cyrus Says this week, where the three fitness freaks bonded over their love for TV sports and sports in general. Tune in to This Round Is On Me, where Gauri celebrated her 25th anniversary with Kavita Rajwade, who is my co-founder at the IVM Podcast Network. They give us details about how this show was curated, and they talk about podcasts in general. On The Habit Coach, Ashton highlighted our addiction to screens, how we are glued to either a big laptop screen or a small mobile screen all day. He shared some tips on how to rectify this unhealthy lifestyle. On All Things Policy, Anirudh Kanisetti spoke to Pratik Vakre and Rohan Sheth about the new internet guidelines that were issued by the Government of India recently and their impact on content creators and platforms. On the Filter Coffee podcast, Karthik invited Vivek Ram, who is a celebrated animation artist. They chatted about his stint with animation and starting his own studio called Vanar Sena, bringing to life stories from ancient India and his scriptures with animation as his vehicle. We had Dhanya Rajendran, the editor of the News Minute, on the Note with Maruk Inayat. It was a deep dive into the digital newsroom and the upkeep of truth in a fake news pandemic. And with that, let's get you back to your show.
Hello, welcome back to the second half of this episode of IVM Likes. Joining me again, my name is Antariksh and Surohini. Joining me again are Surohini and Tanvi. Hey guys, how's it going?
Hey guys, hey.
Hey,
Awesome.
Antariksh. Hi, Tanvi.
Hello,
Hi.
hello. As I mentioned in the beginning of the episode, in the second half, we're going to be talking about our favorite movie directors, women, or women movie
Yes.
directors, how you want to phrase that. This a little bit of a confession. We are doing this as part of Women's Day, which is kind of a cheap way to get viewers, listenership on this episode. I know. But it's still an important discussion to have. It's women directors. Frankly, while researching this topic, I realized there are not that many well-known women directors, and why there
Right.
definitely should be more. But there just aren't. And so people like me, I would say, are part of the reason why there aren't as many directors, because I realized that I have not seeked out any of these women directors as movies, except for one, which I did not know I was directed by this director. So that I'll get to. But again, so let me start off with, firstly, guys, we definitely need more women directors. Obviously, you both agree.
Absolutely.
How I was thinking, like, award shows have something like a women actor, actor female, lead actor male,
Right.
lead actor
Yeah.
singer, whatever, playback
Yeah.
singer, male playback singer. Should there
Yeah.
be like a category for directors as well? What do you think? Would that be helpful, or does that not even matter? Like, oh, it's just another award. Who cares? What would you?
Surohini, are you going for it?
I mean, I am not sure if I would be keen of getting another category added to
That feels
the
like just
list.
lip service. Is that it?
Yeah, it's just like we need more directors, women directors
Period. Yeah.
in general. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, they're not for the awards, not for the, you know, not for the stories, of course, but just in general, we need more women directors, because I'm not sure if I've seen more than 5 or 6 women directors in any regional industry, in any national industry, I would say. So,
Okay.
yeah, I mean,
But
in
do you
general.
watch movies which are non-Bollywood also in India? Like if you watch like Telugu, Tamil movies?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes yes. Sometimes
Okay.
I like
And
there are films.
are there
Like
very
not
few
even
women
like
directors in those industries as well?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about the regional part. I'm now talking about the national also. Like I have not
Uh-huh.
seen more than 5 or 6, or let's say 10. Like that would be the maximum, I think, in any national, in any nation actually. I've
Yep.
not seen women directors
So
that
like,
much.
yep, agreed. Like I should also firstly specify I'm sure there are, because I know quite a few women directors who haven't made it big. So there are
Absolutely,
ample women directors.
absolutely. There,
They're like, but just
absolutely.
people
Correct.
who are in the mainstream, who made it big, who the audience
Correct.
goes out and seeks out.
Correct.
We need
Correct.
more of those. Is
Correct.
what.
So I think we need a platform where we can actually, we need a platform for them to, where they can actually showcase their work and, make it,
Yeah,
big.
absolutely. Exactly. So that's exactly why I was asking that the Oscar question is, because sometimes I feel that just because they will have to. So see, right now what happens if there are like a category, like there are like 8 people in a category, say 8 directors, it's a
Correct.
nominees, 8 nominations, right?
Yeah.
They'll have
Yeah.
like 2 women directors at most.
Yeah.
Okay, right
Yeah.
now. At least that's how it
Totally.
is right now. If you have a whole category, then you'll have to have 8 women directors in that category. So at least those 8 women directors will get a little bit of recognition. Oh, she got to be movie nominated. That's pretty cool. So that Moobola kind of thing will kind of start happening. Is the reason I thought.
Incentive.
Yeah, exactly. So is why I thought it could be like at least a small step forward, of course, but a step forward is in my mind while I was.
Probably.
I also understand
it
it's
could
just
work out. Yeah, I mean, it's just.
Yeah.
it's I think it's more of a post production rather than the pre-production of it, like as in the process.
Sorry, in the sense?
In the sense that we need to first actually start talking about this topic, and then it could be that people are starting to recognize their work, and awards are the finish of your whole storytelling or the film.
Absolutely.
Or direction.
Also, so I just realized that my question also is a little bit of a it's kind of not a great question, because we obviously know that there have to be more women in all fields, like in direction and in acting also. I'm sure there need to be, actually acting I can understand, acting and
but
singing is enough,
why not
but
sound
everywhere,
engineering.
Sound engineering, exactly what I mean, like in all parts of production.
Cinematography.
We
don't have many women cinematographers.
That's exactly that's exactly it. So exactly, that should be another episode sometime. Women in post production, like why not? So awesome. So that brings us to the Oscar question is done. Do you guys actively, like as women, I want to know this, I'm not like putting you on the spot, but do you guys actively search out any specific women directors who you're like massive fans of or something?
So like you said, there have been not even a handful of women directors, that I can even name off the hook.
True.
But one that Zoya Akhtar is one whose work I've been following.
Absolutely. Of course.
Whether it's Made in Heaven on Amazon Prime, the series, I binged watched it, like literally one night. And and
Wait,
even
Made in Heaven is directed by Zoya Akhtar or like produced or something by Zoya Akhtar?
She's directed it.
Oh wow, I had no idea about that. That is crazy.
Yeah.
Wow, that is so cool. Yeah. So you were saying?
And also all her movies, whether it's Gully Boy, whether it's Dil Dhadakne Do, or
she's
Dobara. I mean, I actually like Luck by Chance. I mean, the way she paints every character, you can actually relate. There's something that you can actually relate to, and sometimes there are characters you don't even like, but she makes them so likable.
Exactly. And, so I love the way she juggles prominent ensemble casts. Like in the sense, like there'll be like most of her movies are multi-starrers.
Absolutely.
But it feels so like natural. It also feels that she's not neglecting a character. Usko screen time dena chahiye tha yaar. Anil Kapoor was great as a father, should have given him more screen time. It doesn't feel like that. It feels like very well balanced. It feels like all characters are growing a bit. Like Gully Boy is a great example. Where his friend, the guy who was taking care of those children, the guy who was selling drugs to the children. Yeah, correct. No, not Cher. I'm talking about his friend.
The other friend.
Yeah, correct. The guy was taking care of those children, the street children, right?
Correct.
So his character got a great arc from nowhere in that movie. Like I had not expected that friend to get an arc, like a proper heartfelt arc where this guy's like, man, you go, you live your life. I'll handle myself in jail. Don't worry about me. So this guy is just a great heartfelt arc that was. So that's Zoya Akhtar does that very well. And
absolutely.
So exactly. Like I'm sorry, Zoya Akhtar made it to all three of our lists because we had to talk about a woman.
Correct.
So all three of our lists had Zoya Akhtar. And I knew that was going to happen because she is again the most prominent woman director in India that I can think of right now.
Correct.
Another one in India though that we should definitely talk about because nowadays she gets a lot of hate because of the movie she directed recently. But one woman whose first movie is one of my favorite movies ever is Farah Khan. Mehuna is one of my favorite movies, dude. I'll watch that movie till I am dead. I'll watch it every day or every other day because I have to watch Andaz Apna Apna also. But you get what I mean. Mehuna is just a fantastic movie. The songs are great. The acting is great. It revived kind of Sushmita Sen's career. It gave Zayed Khan a career. Amrita Roy also, but she was also doing like other movies already. I think, right? Was she not? But yeah, she definitely helped her career, of course. Mehuna. It was a great movie, dude. So Farah Khan, of course, after that she directed like Tismar Khan and
Om Shanti. She directed Om Shanti.
Om Shanti was not bad. Yeah, Om Shanti was bad.
That was a hit.
Correct.
Deepika got
her debut on that. Of course. So, and dude, Deepika has grown so much as an actor. Is so great to see. And because in Om Shanti Om she could not act, and just frankly
Absolutely.
not even like she was terrible.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, Om Shanti Om, good movie, great, some great dialogues in that movie, which have become classic, like
Classic,
very
yeah.
quotable dialogues, from that movie. So yeah, so Farah Khan has some very good work that she's done.
Yeah.
Hopefully, the next movie she makes is better than Tees Mar Khan, man. That's just that's all I'll say. Shout
I
out
think
Farah
the
Khan if
main-
you're watching. This is our advice.
Please, better than Tees Khan.
Yeah,
But the main difference, I think, between the both of them is that Farah Khan has stuck to like mainstream melodrama Bollywood,
that's true.
and
True.
Zoya Akhtar has given like a contemporary twist to that traditional,
That's
those traditional genres with or
Like-
those
like-
topics. Like
in the
yeah.
sense, like Dil Dhadak Mein though almost feels like a slice of life movie.
Yeah,
It doesn't
True.
feel like too like there's this family drama movie, but doesn't feel like there's too much more masala
Yeah.
in that movie.
Yeah.
All the masala that is there, like the conflict between Ranveer and Anushka's character, like I want to be with you, I can't be with you, that kind of stuff. That feels also like kind of natural for that movie. It doesn't feel like ye kya ho gaya, bada dhamaka
Ah.
happened or something.
Correct.
So yeah, I would agree with that. Another director who sadly I have not seen either of her two films, but I've been meaning to check these both out, and hopefully the both of you have seen them and can tell me a little bit more about these movies. Is the director Gauri Shinde? Her two movies are English English and Dear Zindagi.
Yeah.
Have you seen both of them? Have you guys seen both?
Yep.
Both of them.
Both of them.
And you would definitely recommend them. I'm guessing by your reaction.
Absolutely. So I think she was one of the first female directors to get not first, but yeah, like after English, she had we had a whole conversation about getting more female directors on board, like on the mainstream film industry. So after I think English we had because English won a lot of awards in India.
Okay.
A lot of awards in India, and it was like a huge success in that year that when it
Was that Sridevi's last film?
Yes.
No, I think Sridevi's last film was Mom.
Okay.
Yeah, her last film was Mom.
I think it marked her comeback, if I'm not mistaken.
Definitely. Yeah. She hadn't done a film in
absolutely
forever. Right?
English, yes, absolutely. It was a good film. It was like the story was so good. Story was good. It was actually relatable to.
It's about a woman who is trying to teach English.
Who is trying to learn English.
Learn English, okay.
Because she didn't know, and her family was not really supportive of it. Like she wanted to learn English. She wanted to prove that she can do something other than being a homemaker. A homemaker, yes.
So is it like more of a comedy movie though, or is it more of a drama?
It's both. It's both. It is both. A mix of comedy, drama.
Okay.
Emotional.
Does it end with an emotional speech?
Yes.
Where she's like, "Arey betiyon ko padhao" or something.
Yeah.
I can totally imagine that. Imagine
it does. It does.
She talks in English, right, during that speech?
Really?
She does.
Wow.
She gives best woman speech, like in weddings, best man speech. She kind of does that.
Yeah.
That's
Correct.
nice.
Correct.
That's well done. Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Cool. So So any other directors that you guys would like to talk about first?
Absolutely. So
Yes, please.
one of the so I watched her film recently, not recently, but an year back, I would say. And I loved the film. So the film is called Death in the Goonj and is directed by Konkana Sen Sharma.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And it is absolute delight. Like, you have to watch this. It is the cast is amazing cast. And
is it Naseeruddin Shah?
No, not Naseeruddin Shah.
Okay.
It is Vikrant Massey, Kalki Koechlin. We have Gulshan Grover. We have 2-3 more prominent, actors and actresses. Mm-hmm. And it is, and Jim Serb is also in the film. And
Oh my God! Wow.
it's yeah. So
Tanvi suddenly got excited. Like, Jim Sarv is there.
No, like this Jim.
Code
This
myths.
Jim.
Yeah,
No,
sorry, go ahead.
this Jim Sarv and Kalki combination. It just, I just love them on screen
yeah,
together.
yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah, Made in Heaven. Yeah,
Made in
correct.
Heaven or-
Are
the
they
both
both in
of them
Made in
are
Heaven also?
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh, really? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Sorry,
They're
Made in
like-
Heaven is the wedding one, na?
yeah,
Hmm.
absolutely.
So these both are like supporting cast in that because they're not the main cast.
Like not the supporting
not
cast
main,
also,
main.
but main cast bhi nahi hai aisa.
Pretty much main. I mean, they're protagonists, so pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay, cool, nice. ठीक है. So
So,
that
so
was
the-
Konkona Sharma, yeah.
Yeah, Konkona Sen Sharma, and her film is great, and I think you can watch it on Netflix also.
Okay. What else has Konkona Sen directed? Because I don't think she's acting anymore, is she?
I don't know, but yeah, I mean, she's into poetry. I follow her, so she's into poetry and writing also. So she might be writing a film or
Okay.
short films.
Cool.
And two more directors, I want to give a huge shout out to two more directors. One
Yes.
is Guneet Monga. She got an Oscar for India last year, I think, because of a short film.
Okay. What is the short film? You know the name of the short film?
Yeah, just 1 second. I have
Okay, no worries.
written
No
it
worries.
down.
Okay.
So
No. What's the name of the director again?
Guneet Monga.
Guneet Monga. Okay.
Yeah.
I will just look up the film you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Sorry,
she's
the editor will have to speed this up a bit. Yeah.
Yeah. So she is 1 second. I'll check.
Lunchbox. You're talking about Lunchbox is hot. Oh wow. She made Lunchbox. She made Masan. No.
She
is that right?
her entity, her production house made all these.
Her production house made all this. Wow.
Yeah.
That's wow, dude. I had no ideas. Cool. That's very cool. Two great movies again.
Period. End of sentence. That's the name of the short film,
Okay.
and it's a very 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 good, like very very good short film. I mean, I can't stop adding very to that because it's
What's it
very,
about?
very-
What's the short film about?
So it's about menstruation. It's about the phobia of menstruation, and how the society thinks, the whole perspective of the society for menstruation. So it's about that, and it's available on YouTube also, so you guys can watch there. And
Yeah.
last one and absolutely favorite, Meera Nair.
Yep, Mira.
So Meera Nair is like the OG, I think. And so I started following her when I watched her film Salam Bombay on movie.
Yep.
And yeah, I've been following her work since then. Salam Bombay, Namesake. She recently released A Suitable Boy
Oh
Yep.
yeah, that
on
was
Netflix.
nice. That was nice.
So yeah.
Which is that movie, man? The one with Rahul Khanna, Akshay Khanna's brother. Is that Monsoon Wedding? No.
So Rahul Khanna.
No. Which is okay? Where is this song from? That I'm gonna sing now. Rag rag mere rag me rag jayegi tu rang. Okay, sorry, that's Rang Rang.
I've
mere
heard
rang
the
me.
song. Rang
You
Rang.
know the song, no? Rang rag mere
Yeah.
rag me rag mere.
Monsoon
Man.
Wedding, probably. Yes,
Was it?
probably Monsoon. I think so.
Okay, now it'll be hilarious if both of us are wrong because you agreed with me.
Monsoon Wedding में आता याद नहीं मेरे को आता नहीं याद है I
Oh,
Who
it's a
is-
movie called Bollywood Hollywood. You are both-
नहीं
Okay, why did we think of Monsoon?
yeah. No, I knew it all along. I was trying to fool you, Tanvi.
Oh yeah, sure. You're trying to check if I knew, right?
Exactly, yeah. And you didn't. Ha! Failed. Gotcha.
So
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
some very 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 nice female directors we had in this decade. यार पूरा 10 years में we had some great female directors coming up.
What about Bend It Like Beckham? Wasn't it directed by something Chadda? I've forgotten her first name.
Okay. Bend It Like Beckham was again a
Like
great
Beckham.
movie. I watched it.
Gurinder Chadda.
Gurinder Chadda. Gurinder.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean that film was
Quite fun.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
You know,
quite hilarious.
if I'm not wrong, that was Keira Knightley's debut, by the way. Isn't that crazy?
Oh,
Shadda.
really?
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Oh,
Keira
wow.
Knightley's debut was Bend It Like Beckham. It's an
Oh,
Indian movie.
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy. And I remember watching it So it wasn't a theater. It was like I watched it at a private party, like a private screening of Ben Like Beckham when it came out. We were have like like a family. We were having like a building event
Huh.
at like a small screening theater where
Okay.
some building uncle had invited, like because your family friends had invited us to that, and he had gotten passes to like a private screening. So the entire screening was like for the people in the building, and we were all invited to this, whatever I said, as I said, to like the screening place. And yeah, dude, we had like a very fun time. It was a very unique movie for its time, and it was
Yeah.
Hindi and English. Anupam Kher was there.
Yeah.
There was I remember there's a very funny part where the main actress, I'm forgetting her name, Jasmeet, right? Jasminder, something like that. Jassi.
Jasmine. Yeah,
Yeah.
Jessie.
Yeah, she is playing football with cauliflower, with a ball of cauliflower, which was hilarious to me at the time as a kid. So yeah, Ben Beckham, very good movie.
So do you guys have you guys seen that Zero Dark 30 film?
Kathryn Bigelow, I was gonna talk about her. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Zero Dark 30, Hurt Locker. She won an Oscar for Hurt Locker, by the way.
Yeah.
And she won an Oscar for Zero Dark 30 and
Oh.
Point Break. So I'll tell you a fun fact about Kathryn Bigelow, Zero Dark 30. Okay, Zero Dark 30 won, if I'm not wrong, the best original screenplay. If I'm not wrong, let me just double check that if quickly if I could. Zero Dark 30 won Oscar for best sound editing. No, that can't be right. Sorry, just 1 second. Just
I think best film.
yeah, I think you're right. I think it won the award of the night, best film. And
because I think so it's actually on Osama bin Laden's assassination.
Yeah,
Zero
correct.
Dark 30.
The Zero Dark 30 is about that, correct? And the same year, Zero Dark 30 came out in, I will tell you, in 2012. And if I'm not wrong, the same year was a movie by. Okay, wait. 1 second, dude. 1 second. I think it's the Hurt Locker I'm thinking of. Hurt Locker. Sorry, I think the. Yeah, so Hurt Locker, and so Hurt Locker is directed by Kathryn Bigelow. She won an award, an Academy Award for that movie, and she won the Best Director Academy Award. Yes, she won the Best Director Academy Award for Hurt Locker. And in the same year, Avatar, the movie Avatar, was also nominated. Avatar, turns out, is directed by James Cameron, who is Kathryn Bigelow's
ex-husband. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my God.
And the same year, so both of them, they're already exes. And the same year, both of them were nominated for Best Director, and Kathryn Bigelow won. Just unique
personal.
Fact. Yeah, it's very cool. It went personal. She probably texted him at the end of the night.
Sucker.
Yeah.
I read this
loser. James Cameron.
I read this meme today which said that so these two exes meet after like ages, and the guy asks the girl, "So are you Miss or Mrs.?" She says, "Doctor. I'm doctor."
Ooh. Nice.
So again, just quickly, Kathryn Bigelow, she's so meticulous, dude, in her movies. If you watch her movies, her attention to detail in every movie, it's great, and she creates these moments of tension so well. So like there are very few directors who do tension very well. Like they can create, if like they supposing some tense moment is going on and there's like a moment of silence or like nothing is happening. Right. She makes those moments so well. Like there are very few directors who I love the way they do that. One of them is Kathryn Bigelow. Of course, another one is Quentin Tarantino, because he is known for those moments.
Yeah.
But Kathryn Bigelow is again great at that. So please go and check out all her movies. I think she's directed 3, if I'm not wrong: Point Break, Zero Dark 30, and The Hurt Locker. All of them is fantastic. So yeah, that's I think that's about it for me. Oh, also I cannot. Patty Jenkins is a director who has been recently had like a resurgence because she directed the Wonder Woman movies, right? Great director, amazing action direction in Wonder Woman movies. The movie that gave her her break, basically, Patty Jenkins, was the movie Monster. I'm forgetting the year. It was 1998 or something like that. And the movie is called Monster. It's starring Charlize Theron and Christina Ricci. Charlize Theron plays basically like a serial killer. And she had to she changed her entire appearance. She gained a lot of weight. Her face looks chubby as hell, and she looks like disturbing. She looks very disturbing in this movie, and it's a very dark but very great movie. It's kind of like a 90s Joker. Okay.
Okay.
Where it's like a case
Oh.
study in like how this person's mind is just melting, her mind is just breaking down, and
Right.
she's obsessed with the co-star that she has in the movie, Christina Ricci. She's obsessed with her character, so any attention from males that Christina Ricci's character gets, this woman gets really jealous. So she ends up becoming like a serial killer, and one thing leads to another. It's great. This great movie. Please, it's a little disturbing, so I will warn you of that, but it's definitely a great watch and a great movie. And if I'm not wrong, again, it won Oscars as well. So, yep, what's a hangout? I think that I'm done with this, with all my recommendations. What about you guys? Do you have anyone else that we have missed?
I think we've covered the gamut.
You covered the gambit.
Yeah.
That's why we need more women directors, man.
Yeah.
Sadly, this was
So
an
I think
episode.
we missed one. I think
Yes,
I
tell me.
feel like we missed her. Oh yeah, we've missed Meghna Guldar. Her recent films were really appreciated.
Okay.
Razi and Chapak.
Oh yeah.
Chapak, if I'm pronouncing it correct. Chapak.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
So
there are two movies that I did not realize were directed by women.
Okay.
I didn't seek these women out because I didn't seek these movies out because they were directed by these women. I just happened to love these movies. And today, while doing research for this topic, I realized these movies, classic movies, are directed by women. The first one is Tom Hanks starring Big. Have you guys seen this movie, Big?
yeah.
Yeah, it's I used to
Yeah.
love it as a child. It's about a
Yeah.
guy who one day just wakes up and realizes he is now a grown man. So it's like a teenager, like a 13, 14 or 12, 13-year-old teenager in a grown Tom Hanks's body, and how he has to go about life. It's a
It's hilarious.
very feel good. It's like a Christmas movie almost, like a
Yeah.
feel good, nice, very nice movie. That's number one. Directed again by Penny Marshall is the name. And the next movie, your mind, if you have seen this movie, your mind will be blown that this was directed by a woman, because it seems like okay, I'm gonna tell you, American Psycho, the movie American Psycho. Have you guys seen this?
I've heard about the film. I've not seen it.
Man, if you guys have
I've
seen
not
this movie,
seen
dude, it
it.
would have been a great reaction. American Psycho starring Christian Bale. He plays the character of Patrick Bateman. And this movie was directed by Mary Harron. Mary Harron is the director of this movie. It is based on a book of the same name, American Psycho. It's hilarious, disturbing, but very dark. It's about a lawyer who is extremely narcissistic and kind of a serial killer. Actually, yeah, he is a serial killer, and it's American Psycho. It's disturbing and hilarious, is what I'll say, but a great watch, like mesmerizing watch. Again, it's like a case study. It's the entire movie is told from the perspective of Christian Bale's character, that is a serial killer's character, and a very early. If you guys are fans of Jared Leto, a very early Jared Leto's in this movie, and just a fantastic movie. Yeah, I would say American Psycho. Classics. If there's like a list of top 50 movies ever made, American Psycho is definitely on that list for everyone who has seen that movie. I would say without a doubt. So yes, that brings us to the end of this episode. Sorry to end on such a dark movie again. I didn't realize I'm going to end on American Psycho. But hey, maybe Tanvi can give us a few more recommendations for restaurants we can go to on dates. Tanvi, let's go. That's all right. We'll discuss that after this recording ends.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us. Tanvi, where
Thank
can people follow
you.
you online?
So I'm by my full name, Tanvi Lad 93 on Instagram and Twitter.
Okay, nice. And Surohini, what about you?
You can follow me on Twitter at Surohini Jain. Yep.
All right. And you can follow me at Antariksh T on Instagram. Please follow me there. I keep doing stand-up. I'm a stand-up comedian, if you guys don't know. Though it's about time you guys knew this. I've been listening to IVM Likes, guys. Come on. Please follow me.
I know you're silvery. I don't know.
Yes, I am silvery. That's
Silvery is a
a
stage
story
name.
for another
Cyrus
day.
is name.
So I have to explain it. Every second or third episode of Cyrus, I have to explain it. So
Antariksh, is Silvery a stage name or like just Cyrus's name?
it's a Cyrus's name, man.
Okay.
There it is. Okay, fine. Maybe quickly. I'll end with this. If listeners of IVM Likes are not already aware, how Silvery came about is the first ever episode of Cyrus Says that I recorded as producer of Cyrus Says after Abbas was leaving as producer.
Okay.
So Cyrus was talking to me on mic and asking me all these questions, asking me Antariksh, and then it probably came about, okay, oh, that's such a weird name. I'm gonna call you Antariksh. What else can I call you? I should have said Richie. Okay, that's my pet name.
Okay.
Because my brother's Goldie. Okay, so we are Goldie Richie. My brother's Goldie at home. I'm Richie at home.
Okay.
And for some reason, this is true, but I told Cyrus that when I was born, this actually happened though.
Okay.
But when I was born, the debate was, because my brother's already Goldie, he's older than me. He's already Goldie. The debate was to either name me Richie or Silvery. And
And you told this to Cyrus.
I told this to Cyrus.
Oh, damn.
I don't know why. So it's my fault. I blame myself completely. Yeah, of course. But it's just what it is. All right. That brings us to the end of this episode. Please follow us on our social medias. Thank you so much for listening. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
This is the amazing story of something awesome. Once Chuck decided to start a podcast, and so he did. The end. Okay, that was a crappy story. But I've got some really cool stories over at my new show, The Origin of Things. On this podcast, I look at the stories of how brands came into being and sometimes evolved out of quite unexpected circumstances. And to make it really fun, I reveal the name of the brand and sometimes a category only at the very end. The show is 5 to 7 minutes per episode and perfect for trivia junkies and brand nerds, especially those with short attention spans. New episodes out every Wednesday on IVM Podcast app or website, or any podcast app or site that you happen to prefer. End of story, they lived happily ever after.
Remember the last vacation you took? What about the one you took 3 years ago? Okay, how much do you really remember? It's a question I've asked myself often over a decade of traveling the world. Hey, I'm Utsav, and I do not travel the world for a living. I have a full-time job and responsibilities, but I have made traveling the world a priority. Priority enough that I negotiate extra leave in my job contracts, obsessively track my frequent flyer miles, and I'm willing to take off at the sight of a cheap ticket. Yes, I am cheap. I have lived and worked in 3 countries. I understand human behavior for a living, and these experiences have given me unique insights into places, people, and culture. With over a decade of travel behind me, I increasingly realized one thing, that we cannot see everything. So whatever we see, we must see deeply. Because as the film of memory decays, the imprints which will stand the test of time are the ones felt by the immersion of the senses, not by fleeting encounters with them. Postcards from Nowhere is an immersion into the world of slow travel, one story at a time. Tune in every Thursday on the IVM Podcast app, website, or wherever you get your podcast from.